Hey, moving into the home stretch here, we're going to be looking at one last kind of confidence interval. This is the interval for the difference between violence in a large city and violence in a small city. Violence rate, that is. You need all sorts of gobbledygook in order to run this one. And let's face it, we're lazy, so we're going to do this instead. We're going to go over to the descriptive statistics page, and there should already be crime rate by size of city, large cities, small cities. Take that whole thing and copy it. Now here's the rub. When you get here, you can't just paste it because it's formulas. It's not numbers, it's formulas. So what you're going to do instead is you're going to go to Paste Special. And then here we're going to paste the values only. What that does is when I click on this number, rather than seeing a formula like we do right here for the 4.45, we just see the actual number itself. Okay? I'm going to format text wrap. Beautiful. All right. Now for our confidence interval, we've got these same three values from above. And recall that our t is going to be t_inv, where we do 1 minus this value divided by 2. And then we need our degrees of freedom. And our degrees of freedom in this case are the sum of the two sample sizes minus 2. Okay, two things I'm going to note here. I want a negative in this place, and I want to hold this and this constant. Margin of error is going to be equal to the t value multiplied by square root of, let's come over here, the first standard deviation squared divided by its sample size plus second standard deviation squared. Notice you use the caret for the squared divided by its sample size. There's our margin of error. Lower bound. Now, let's be careful here. We need to start by putting in our estimate, which is the x bar 1 minus x bar 2. And that would be equal to the mean for larger cities minus the mean for smaller cities. So that right there is just our estimate in parentheses. And if you want the lower bound, you got to take the estimate, the middle, and subtract the margin of error from it. If you want the upper bound, you do the exact same thing, mean minus mean, but this time we want to add onto it the margin of error. Okay, so we got our values here. I'm going to go and I'm going to dollar bill everything that I don't want to change. And there's our confidence intervals. We can see that at the 99% confidence interval, the difference between the violence rate in a small city and a large city is between this positive number and this positive number, which means that we can confidently say that the violence rate is higher in large cities.